Hello, Shaun Attwood here, London-based author and activist, reading the latest letter from T-Bone, former US Marine in Arizona prison, serving 13 years for allegedly taking $20 off a countertop in a shop. And he is fighting that case, and we're going to get to that. Alright, the big deal now obviously is COVID-19 in the prison system. How prisons are naturally cesspools of viruses and bacteria, intravenous drug use, tattooing, hepatitis C is rife. I saw people had MRSA, TB, and who were HIV positive as well. So here's what T-Bone has written now from Arizona prison. The prison staff acting like they care by giving us a bar of soap and not letting the public know. They're letting people walk around with fevers and then taking them after people complain. As of today, it's only been a few, but we know it's going to get much worse. One guy went to them last night with a fever, and they sent him back right after they locked down the other guy. There's no room for the sick people anywhere in this place. They have no ventilators, no protective gear, no masks, no bleach, nothing. They shook us down today and they won't answer questions that are asked. No tests, nothing. That was one that came through. Let me just read another one that's come through. I've got them down here separately. Right. My brother, thank you for the well wishes. You ready for this? It's here. That's the word, Shaun. Coronavirus is here. So please keep us in your prayers. Now, my brother, these people are as cold as Jack the Ripper. They know that we don't have adequate healthcare, and the guards, COs, are acting like they know nothing. Last week, Officer W, I'm going to leave his name out for privacy reasons, was sick as hell. He left the yard and drove to the end of the road, and an ambulance picked him up and took him to the hospital. We've got no info on his condition, but people are saying it's COVID-19. Man, I can imagine how he's feeling. It's nasty, that virus, and I believe it's man-made. It came out of nowhere, and Shaun, it's affecting young people now. There are so many guys sick here, I've lost count. Some have burning in their chests, but they can taste and smell. So as of right now, I don't know. Some of these arseholes cough and sneeze all over any and everyone. There have been confrontations all over the place. Plus, most of the white guys are downplaying the whole outbreak, making jokes and blaming Democrats. It's unreal that people want to put politics into this outbreak. All the guys who are going home are scared because the lack of jobs and not being able to get any help. The fear makes stress and anger, anxiety, doubt, and even hate, which it all comes from, evil. These guys are turning to dope and sex to lessen the impact of what is happening in their lives. I've had to stand up and give a speech on covering your mouth when you cough and sneeze, and to wash your hands. The madness is unreal, my brother. There are people who don't give a damn, and there's those who want to push the virus as a means to start a race war. Holy shit, I've heard it all now. I've heard it all now. Then there's the people who say, I am young, it won't hurt me, but they still care. Then there are people like me who just want out of here and are doing what is right. Shaun, I need you to hear me, my brother. Never forget, I am in here for something I didn't do. Even the racists tell me that the only reason they did what they did to me is because I'm a big black man. They say always look at big black men like that. Hear me on this, man. Right now, let's just pray for everyone affected by the virus. All my English, Scottish, Irish brothers and sisters, all my German, French, Spanish, African, Middle East, Asian people all over the world. Let's stand together. America is with you. Right, that's 3 notes I've just read. I think there might be, is there one more? Let's see. Okay, yeah, there's one more here. Let's have a look. Well, here's what the governor said at the health town hall. So he's talking about now the governor of Arizona's reaction to people in the Arizona prison system kicking off because they're not getting any treatment or there's no medical equipment ready for this or anything. So the governor has said that he will call out the National Guard if people act out in prison, and that he's going to test the guards and not the prisoners. Now I'm in here because of dirty cops, not because I actually committed a crime. I know there are bad people, I used to be one, but I'm an innocent man in prison for something I didn't do. Someone said money was taken, there must be evidence of a crime. My situation is that the so-called victim says I came into the store and asked for money. One statement was she gave it to me. The other one is a customer came in and put money on the counter and I took the money when she went back to the cash register to get change. Now take a look at that. There's a customer who was there who no one knows, who she says left the money on the counter. People, we all go to stores and we all know that money isn't just left on the counter. When the clerk goes and gets change, when the register is 15 to 20 feet away, an entryway is 8 feet away from the counter. So that leaves the customer who was supposed to be a witness. That also means that the customer is to get a receipt, or that business isn't a real business. So why didn't the police find out who the customer was? Because they would not want to get any evidence in your favour, T-Bone. That's how they do you. Why didn't they take the video and our photos of the so-called robbery? There was a camera there, but there's no video of T-Bone taking the money. Camera stopped working just like before Epstein got suicided by Bill Clinton. So that means DNA, fingerprints, or some of the money, something that ties me to the robbery. This is really going to get you, people. The police showed up to the business over a week later, and the so-called victim testified that she never called the police. She said, I never called the police, they just showed up. She said, I watched him across the street for an hour, but my friend showed up 30 minutes after he left and I never talked to her about him. Well, who called? She said she never called the police. Whoever says I was just robbed but I didn't call the police on the witness stand. How come there's no record of the call? So that leaves probable cause. People, anyone can say you did something, but as each of you know, there must be proof. The history of the black race has always been one of right and wrong, and you know one wants to be put in prison without doing justice. There is not a piece of evidence that shows I took anything from anyone. Only that person saying I did, which has to be backed up with evidence. This is not NK. All this was made up by the police. I'm in here for something I didn't do because I'm a big black man with a criminal record, and God knows I didn't do any things they charge you with. And guess what? They know too. But COVID-19 is here. And I know that these people don't care who's innocent. So here, this is, and I want all of you to know, God will make things right. Remember, I'm innocent. There are sick people here who can't even get a test. I ask you all for help in the name of Jesus. This is wrong. I did not rob anyone. Be strong and know that we can't give up. Hope never dies. T-Bone. Each one, teach one. Strength and honor. Steal, embrace. So T-Bone has written over 70 plus letters now that I've read out on YouTube, or they're on my blog, John's Jail Journal. They're going back years and years and years. If you go down in the description box below this video is the T-Bone playlist. There are actual phone recordings of me and T-Bone when he was briefly released about 5 years ago. If you want to hear his actual voice, if you want to hear us chatting, they're in the T-Bone playlist. If you want to support T-Bone, there's also a link, a donation page. and that money goes to T-Bone's wife and to T-Bone. T-Bone has kids with his wife, and one of them died at the end of last year. She was in her 20s from sickness, some kind of surprise flu situation, and some of the money went to help the burial and everything. I appreciate all the people donated for that, and money from that goes to his wife for to help with the family, and also the money goes to T-Bone in prison so he can get his commissary. He can buy his extra things, buy his extra food. He's a big guy. He's hungry all the time now. So cheers for supporting T-Bone. Love and respect from London. Take care out there. Thank you.